Monday, November the 16th, 8:09. So I had a good day today. I did. Um, I did have to call this lady out her name because she was disrespectful. Um, I do use all of the words available. Uh, and I don't discriminate. The word bitch has no boundaries for me. You can be a man or a woman and be a bitch to me. And we know that. As I'm saying this, I think back when um, over the years, um, I took a shower and the towel had lint. Yeah. Um, I think about the word bitch and how often it is used. But I remember growing up, and the word coming from a man's mouth was that identified or gay men. And because you didn't hear straight men say bitch, it always come from always I either heard it from gay men or from women. And as I say that, I would have to say now that I straight boys, because that's what I was at the time, and men do use the word. I just wasn't in that environment, and when I was, they did use it. But in 2020, when you sexuality, straight men, gay men, straight men say bitch more than gay men that I know. I'm just, and so that's why we have to stop putting sexuality and femininity and masculinity on words that we know. Example, I understand why they do it, but I don't understand when a guy was talking to his girl and he say, bruh, bruh. When I first heard it, I said, what? But girls do it to other girls, or women do it to other women. So again, once that dynamic changed, when men call women bruh and you answer to bruh, then it's no longer masculine or feminine. That's how I see it. Um, Giving head. I remember the first time I heard a woman say, "Yeah, I want to get some head." That threw me for a loop because not that I was naive, but I didn't get into all of the lingo and all of the hip hop. I just did not. Not intentionally. It just was just not who I was. Um, and so when I come to find out that when women say getting head, that means getting a pussy ate. I didn't know that. I was a grown man. Probably in my late 20s, and it just goes to show that over time, the word does not change, but the meaning, understanding, and interpretation of it does. And that's what most responsible, respectable adults know this, because children even know it. Um, but if we stop putting masculine and feminine on words and colors that to determine if you're male or female. You know, the uh, reveals now that they do. It don't matter if it's a boy or girl, they gonna both wear pink and blue. I'm just saying. I respect and understand of all of that. Oh, yes, historical. But the reality, both of them gonna wear pink and blue. So again, that is just so that our children understand that adults know that colors don't define who you are. And if we teach our children that verbally, because they see it non-verbally, that's why when we tell them, oh, well, you can't wear that because that's a girl or that's a boy, that don't make sense. Especially in 2020. You could have said that 50 years ago, but I'm talking about in 2020. You cannot say that. Our children watch animals talk to the kids, talk to each other, talk to humans. When was the last time that you, as a grown person, walked up to a dog and y'all started having a conversation? I know who I am. And if I walk up to a dog or any animal and they start having a conversation with me, I might want to be put in a mental institution myself. I'm just saying. I'm just being real. I know who I am, and I don't want to know everything that people are saying and all. No, what? Yeah. So, but words are very important. Words are very important all the days of our life. The word no, 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 or just that. No. Children know that. And if you're grown, if you had a woman in your life, in which all of us did, uh, yeah, you had a man in your life, because not one child that walks this earth, that comes into this world, and now in 2020, will only encounter one gender or one race. That is not our truth and reality. Now, you can live in your own truth and reality that you want. Hey, it does not change the fact that what I'm saying is true. So, words are important. And what is the intent behind it? It's at one point in time, yeah, we just said whatever the hell we wanted to say. And when you reflect back over your life, you said exactly what you were thinking, which was living in truth and reality. You've always been that person. I look over my life and I've always been. Was I obnoxious? Oh, yes. I'm so sure. Because there was a point in time, oh, you were going to know if I was talking. And it wasn't of arrogance, but I just wanted to make sure you hear me. And and I guess I have to say that I'm still that way now. Because when I speak to you and you don't acknowledge me, oh, that pisses me off. So I will get loud. So yes. Hey, we don't change. So yeah. Yeah. Oh. When a person speaks to you, what is rude? is when when a person speaks to you, whether you don't speak that language or not. Hello, goodbye, excuse me, you're welcome is universal. And even if you're not sure, when your ass look up and lock eye to eye, you know you heard something that was familiar. So speak back at least, even if they didn't. Hello. But then what I have noticed personally, and what we see all the time, is people, you recognize people, they look at you, look you up and down, and turn their head. That's rude and disrespectful. When people do that to me, I let them know. And I understand for me that it was something that I needed to do for me to gain confidence and then respect. It's just disrespect. Period. Yeah. If yeah, I've even said things to people. If someone speaks to you and don't speak back, that's rude. Parents, adults, you. Hmm. It is our responsibility. At 43, I'm saying that, but it's something I've always known. It is our responsibility to teach our children, each one of us. It is not only the responsibility of our teachers in our education system, just like it is not only the parents' responsibility to teach our children. Because if you were to be honest with yourself, mm, yeah, I'm gonna let you wonder what I was thinking. Because as I've always said, not one person can do one thing without themselves. I didn't get this apartment on my own. On my own. I had to put in the work. My caseworker called me and said, "Come and look." I said, "Okay." And I had that not happened, I would not be here. We got to get out of a place of ungratefulness and I'm entitled. I know who I am. Then I didn't know who I was, but I still knew who I was. And what if I put in the work and do what I need to do to move the process along that is a part of the process, then you need to do your part. But so often because of where we are and people my age and older, it's just how society, how it happened, how it was supposed to happen, because it didn't happen any other way. Because if it went any other way, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. So, yeah. So I'm going to play a song and that I heard earlier. I haven't hadn't heard in many many years, but it's an artist that I grew up to, because of my grandmother and her friends. I've always been around people that were older than me, and I thought it was just people that were older than me. But also, when I look back, it is not people that were able to have intellectual conversations about many different things and not just one thing. And that is what all of the people, friends, that I can say. Um, when you're reflecting back over your life, what people tend to do is to change history. If at one point in time that person was a friend, when you're reflecting back, that is what that person was. He or she was a friend. You may not be friends today in what you define as friend, but that does not change the fact that what it was then. And as when you try to do that, and when people do that, you're changing the entire story to fit the way that you want to fit, because you don't want to take responsibilities for your own actions. Life is full of pain, and it's good pain and it's bad pain. It's bad pain and it's good pain. But you got to go through it until you leave this earth. That's not a choice. Uh, Now you can choose how you want to deal with it and how you confront it, but that is up to you. And if anybody else want to just pull you along and just say, I don't tell nobody what to do with their own money, to a degree. Um, but while we're talking about money, in New York, there is too much untrackable, untraceable money that must and shall come to an halt. If the money that someone is depositing into a bank account and it is not counterfeit, what is the issue? Why do we now in 2020 need to be instantly notify the IRS? I understand the intent behind that money laundering then, but that is not the case now. So for us to in economy, because it's not only here in America, in New York, here in America, it's in every continent on earth. So all monies will be tracked. And when I say tracked, let me, let me not say tracked. We need to know where the money is. So people, you need to deposit the money in the account because we need to track. We need to know where the money is because if not, we are still going to run into this issue. So there is going to only time we the government needs to in any government needs to get involved is if someone is sending someone $1 million, an example, overseas or to another, yeah, that we need to be notified because the of course. But again, I'm here now, so I'm not worried about that. But we need to track the money. There, we have more than enough money that people need to deposit in bank accounts, which means the corporations that own the street vendors, those stations, a lot of those and most of those in major cities are owned by corporations. I also noticed that in every store or bodega that people can just change the price. So when you can just change the price, you can report anything that you want. There's no way for us to keep track of the money that is obviously not being poured back into our communities. We see that because it's only being poured back into the affluent communities and not the poor or the middle class. Why is that? And that is where the money is being spent because the money still goes to the top. That is no longer. But people You must recognize it when you see it and stop down complaining about something that you are part of. I have bought stuff that I know that was stolen. Did you say, well, was it wrong? It just depends on who you ask. When I got here to New York, a few months ago, no, well, a few months ago, I needed some more shoes at the beginning of the pandemic. The retail stores were closed. What was I to do? I was walking by and someone was selling some shoes. What was I gonna say? No. If you're rich and you have money, you don't have those kind of concerns. Because not only that is, if it is stolen, the insurance paid you. Am I right? Or am I right? So that's why I don't have a problem. I'm not telling people to go out and steal. That's not what I'm saying. But it's already there. And I needed it, so I got it. But that is also the money to the people in the poor community that we don't report. And yet we're pissed off because our communities look the way that it does. You got to take responsibilities for your actions as well. Responsibilities goes both ways. I take mine. Have I bought bootleg DVDs and movies before? Yes, many, many years ago. But I stopped watching them, not because I felt bad about corporations not getting no money. That was not my concern. I just didn't like the quality was horrible. So I was not in that of a rush to watch a poor quality of a good movie. Yeah, no, I'll just wait. And so the reason why I didn't have a problem with buying bootleg movies and bootleg DVDs, and I still don't, that's just not me. It's for the simple fact that when the piracy laws came into order, or whatever the reason why I didn't have a problem with it is because the only people that were worried about and that got money were the people at the top, at the executives. Nobody else got money. Not anyone else that had anything to do with that production, with that piece of art. Now, don't get me wrong. If you write a song or if you write a play, yes, I want you to be paid for that. But don't sue someone about some monies that you know that you can't not. The piracy laws, if it had happened where those DVD sales, even the regular DVD sales that the companies do, if every DVD sale with someone, the producers, the costume designers, everybody attached to it was getting some money, I wouldn't have a problem. And then I would have a problem with, yeah, oh, well, you buying this and no, everybody not getting their money. But no, that's not the case. That money you worried about is going to one person. That's the issue that I have. Because you only worried about you, not everybody else. Now, again, you are to be paid for your work. Once you have, if it's a DVD or movie, you are not basing your revenue on what woulda, coulda, shoulda on bootleg sales. If you are basing it on that, then probably your shit not good. Because if you're confident in that, you're not worried about that. Because not only that is somebody is able to see your art, that's something that you created. Not only well, you didn't create it, a team of people created it. Let's get it right. Because even if you, unless you are there like me right now, is I'm the only one here videotaping, yeah, I can take all the credit. But if it was someone behind this camera holding it, they would have to get credit because they're a part of it. And that is not what happens in our society. And then not only that is, we cannot change it because had those bootleg movies and DVDs not been out and people got to know who you were, where would you be? The bootleg DVDs and movies, that's no different than when you were younger in your early days, whatever craft that you're trying to do, is that people just get the unrefined you. Because if it, especially if it's not clear, but when you do it, it's clear. There's no distortion. But not only what's if you're a millionaire and you worried about some damn bootleg DVDs, and that's why the movie industry and the music industry is the way it is now. People don't need a label to market themselves because with the help of technology, we market ourselves every day. Anytime that you hit send on social media, you are marketing yourself. And our children are at a place and time that they can grow up knowing that, so that we had to go through to know that anything and everything that you do is marketing yourself. Yes, we have public speaking classes, but that was to make you talk and do what other people thought that you should do, that told you who you were. But any successful person that I have seen and that I have heard and listened to have said that they had to, for them to grow. And when they notice the growth is when they learn to be themselves. So I'm not only telling you what I know, I'm telling you what I heard and what I saw. And if you don't believe me, ask some successful people. But if you have to ask successful people and you have access to them, you don't even have to ask them. You already know the answer to it, my question. That's the beauty. So I am going to get ready to end this video. It's about 28 minutes now. Mm. What have you